Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, dear friends, dear viewers. In today's video, we will check Armenian men's and women's championships, fifth round. Let's go. Yes, of course, I should start with this game. With a huge respect to Karen Grigorian. He is my very good friend, but of course, I'm impressed, more than impressed by the level of prep Sargsyan. Uh, I think he impressed not only me, probably everyone who is following Armenian men's championship. Yes. Knight f3 e6. Yes, d4, g3, uh, c3 are the main moves. c3. Here black does have d5. Let's say e5 or e takes d. E takes d. Yes, knight f6 is another move. Let's say e5, knight d5, and here bishop d3. Something very new. At least I remember in 2024, Andrei Yesipenko played against Shamsidin Vohidov. Andrei lost the game, but he got some advantage out of the opening. Also, if I'm not mistaken, recently in World Rapid Championship, Pranav V against Alexander Grishuk. 5, knight fd7, bishop c2, and black is choosing between c4 and d4. d4 short castle, knight c6, bishop a4. Here d3 move is possible. g5, d3, g4, knight g5, h6. I should say that I had time to check with the modern engines, and this is correct. This is correct. Yes, c takes d is the best. f4, g takes f is the best, and here, yes, this bishop at g7, knight f3 short castle, or bishop g7, knight f3, knight g4 was very interesting. Yes, after f takes g, white is already much better. Knight f6 and rook f4. Yes, white is 3 pawns down, and black can capture the fourth pawn on d3, but white is the better side. So knight d3, knight d4. Yes, here, but it's really interesting that Sargis didn't spend much time. As we can see, he has 1 hour 27 minutes, but Karen Grigorian was also blitzing out. So at this moment, he had 1 hour 24 minutes. And he spent only 2 minutes on 95. Yes, modern engines are showing knight f4, bishop f4, bishop g7, and here bishop d6, queen d6, knight d6, bishop f6, and queen f3, bishop takes f6, bishop c7, queen takes c7, queen f6, king e8, queen takes h8, king e7. And white is better. Even we can say that white is much better, but not completely winning. Yes, 95, and yes, here both moves are correct. Bishop b5 as well, knight c1, rook c1, rook c5, and rook f2. This is completely winning, close to +8. Yes, we see that Sargis had 1 hour 21 minutes and ran 52 minutes. Queen before. Yes. Unfortunately for Karen Grigorian, Sargis was well prepared and he found all the best moves and won the game. So we have all 5 games ended. We have results. Surprisingly, Arabian lost with the white pieces against Artur Davtyan. It was Petrov and this bishop e7 line. Definitely, Artur is not playing for win. He tries to neutralize White's initiative. Yes, now there's bishop f5 or knight c6. Yes, knight d6, bishop f5. If I'm not mistaken here, rook e1 is another move. Maybe not exactly here because rook e1 knight before is coming. We see that Artur is at least prepared because he does have 1 hour 27 minutes. And if I go rook e1, knight before is coming. Yes, knight before is there. Rook e1, queen d7, knight f1, short castle, f6. White is slightly better, stopping all kind of queen b5 ideas, g4, and bishop c7. Yes, engine doesn't like this knight f1, bishop h too much, but anyway, position remains around equal. White doesn't have anything, and slowly white is getting maybe slightly unpleasant position. Yes, we see that Mamikon does have 1 minute 30 seconds and Artur Davtyan has almost 6 minutes. Queen b8, and here rook takes, queen takes, bishop c3, or even rook b1. Game should end in a draw. Yes, for example, queen takes a8, rook b5. Yes, even queen takes b5. Yes, computer doesn't like this rook d1. And now this is quite unpleasant position for white. Rook e2 would have been the best. And this is lost. Or very unpleasant. This is already lost. And Mamikon resigned. He was slightly better from the opening, and slowly Artur was neutralizing the initiative, but Mamikon uh, uh, really pushed too much. But even after pushing too much, he could already play a little bit carefully and get his draw slowly. But somehow something went wrong and he lost the game. Yes, we do have Manuel Petrosyan against Benik Agasarov. Manuel Petrosyan managed to win with the white pieces opening, if I'm not mistaken. This move you call in that way. Knight f6, knight c3, and here we know that knight e4 is one move to play. Let's say knight takes e4 d5 or queen h5 knight d6. Queen e5 queen e7 is coming. If bishop b3 and bishop e7. So bishop c5 knight e2 d6 short castle d4 he takes d knight d4. Bishop g4. Yes, rook e8 or knight b d7 moves are also possible. Takes knight takes h6. Knight b d7 most likely would have been a better move. Yes, and this is already slightly better for white. Takes c4, bishop d2, knight d4 most likely doesn't work because of rook e1 and f3. Protecting the pawn on e4, queen f3, queen d3, and f3. White is slightly better. Of course, not much. Yes, slowly it is getting unpleasant for black. Knight g7, f6, h5, f5, and computer doesn't like f5 at all. It would have been better to play some knight e6 or rook a3 or king f7. Yes, bishop g7, very good move. He takes f, and now knight e3. Yes, maybe rook e5 would have been the best, but now knight e5 and rook e1. Takes, rook e2, king f2. Yes, now c6, knight b6, rook g8. But when you do have only 33 seconds, I guess not easy to play something like this. b5, c takes b, c6, b takes c, b takes c, knight f4, rook e8, rook d2, d5, g3, rook e2, b4, b5, knight takes d5. Yes, always Manuel been in this kind of positions, uh, especially strong. Usually he doesn't give any chances to his opponents. Yes, and in this game we clearly see that. Yes, definitely Manuel deserved this win because he took some risks. So first of all, going something, some sideline on second move, bishop c4, bishop opening, as I know, uh, which is considered like black does have different ways to get very solid safe position. And even the way Benik Agasarov played, he got quite playable position without much problems, but slowly was outplayed by Manuel Petrosyan. I think the even position after, uh, yes, something like this already was slightly unpleasant, and I think the decisive mistake came when uh, Benik pushed f5, after which position is very, very unpleasant. We do have another result. Tigran Harutyunyan managed to win with the black pieces against Zaven Andreasyan. So simply we can say that two leaders of the tournament, Benika Gasarov and Tigran Harutyunyan, I apologize, Zaven Andreasyan, they lost today's games. Yes, previously I remember that Zaven always been having good results against Tigran Harutyunyan, but recently Tigran managed to uh, break this barrier, and some years back I remember Tigran won one of his first games, at least in classical format, against Zaven Adresian, and a4, d5, it takes d, knight takes d5, short castle, bishop g4, king h8. Seems like Tigran is aware of this idea, this line, h3, bishop h5, and here g4 doesn't really work because of bishop g6, and then knight e5 takes some c6. So g4 is very principled move. Takes, you take. Yeah, it's just c6. Not really knight f4 because of queen f3, or yes. No, not really queen f3, knight f3, knight h3, king g2. Yes, but c6 is enough. Black doesn't have any problems. So Zaven goes knight f1 and knight b4, very good move. And knight h2, f5, another great move. And now e4. And now queen d1, knight c2, f takes g. And black is already much better. Yes, here rook e8, f3, bishop takes e4. Again, black is much better. Maybe not winning. Yes, knight f3, for example, here equalizes the game. Yes, and somehow Raven managed to get his chances for a draw. Yes, it takes c. Yes, now rook e7, and I guess just knight e5. Takes, just king g2, rook e7, just king takes g2. Yes, rook e6, takes. Yes, rook takes g2, rook f2, rook g5. Yes, computer doesn't like this move, and this is already lost. This is already lost. And rook b7. This is completely lost. Yes, and Zaven resigned. And we do have another game. Roberto Vanisian managed to win with the white pieces against Ovik Airapetian. And bishop b5 check. d4 takes, a6 takes, knight c3, e5. Yes, I guess here rook c8 is the best move. h6 is also possible. This, yes, I guess the point of rook c8, if you go knight d2 to play bishop e6 and stopping knight c4. Yes, these positions are very much playable. Yes, we see that Robert is blitzing out all the moves. And a4, a5. Yes, computer likes more queen c5 with the ideas to go bishop d8. And d5, bishop b4, bishop c3, rook takes d5, Yes, now black doesn't have any problems. Rook b5, king h7 or e4. e4. Maybe white is very slightly better. And let's see how Roberto Vanessian managed to win this position. Yes, some problems are of course there. Last year in Armenian National Championship, I lost some similar endgame. Yes, of course, I was pawned down. So I know how well Robert plays endgames. So g5 maybe. And this is already very unpleasant because white's king is very close to this b7 pawn. And rook c7, I guess we just go king c5. Maybe this was Hovik's point, but king c5 is coming. And f5. This reminds me Fischer Taimanov game. Only move. And just bishop f6. G takes f, h6, knight f5. Bishop takes g7, I guess, even. No, bishop g7, I'm not sure. No, bishop g7, knight g7, h6, knight e6, king b6, knight f8, king b7. Yes, maybe out of the opening, Robert got some slight pressure, but then Hovik managed to play well and equalized the game. But then somehow he chose endgame, where white was the better side, and slowly Robert uh, posed a lot of pressure. Was not lost, but somehow Hovik didn't manage to hold it. And let's go and check the standings. So we do have the following standings. Artur Davtyan and Roberto Vanessian are leading the tournament with 3.5 points out of 5. And then we do have Tigran Harutyunyan, 3 points out of 5. And 4 players are having 2.5 points out of 5. Benika Gasarov, Zaven Andreasyan, Manuel Petrosyan, and Sargisyan. 2 players are having 2 points out of 5. Karen Grigoryan, Mamikon Gharibian, and somehow tournament doesn't go well for Hovik Karapetyan, but definitely he plays, he tries, and some of the games I really like how he plays, like against Mamikon Gharibian, or even today, first part of the game, when he pushed d5. Okay, let's see what are we having in women's championship. Yes, we do have Susanna Rakelian lost against Navarta Harapetian. Susanna Gaboyan won with the black pieces against Mariam Khachatryan. Tobak Palina drew against Mariam Avetisyan. Milena Gasparian drew against Melina Horutyunyan. And Anna Khachatryan won against Lilia Danielian. Check these two games. Let's see how Susanna Gaboyan won with the black pieces. Yes. C6. Knight bd7. Rook e8. h6. Knight e4. Yes, so far they are playing quite well. d5, and we see that most likely this was Mariam Khachatryan's prep, and as we can see that Susanna also didn't spend much time. And we take c. Queen e5. Some pressure white is having, of course. And this is just rook d2, rook d1. Yes, I don't like this queen c2 much. Yes. Knight f4, g5, knight takes c6, rook takes c6. Yes, rook d1 looks interesting, and g4. Wow. That's why computer likes more playing knight e2, stopping g4. Knight d5, g takes h, knight f6, knight f4 would have been better. And this is already unpleasant position for white. And this is already lost. Rook d5 would have been the best, or g3. Yes, queen c3 maybe. King e2, queen f3, king e1, rook g1, and Mariam Khachatryan resigned. Let's see how did Anna Khachatryan won against Lilia Danielian. Bishop e7, I very much recommend. d4. Yes, maybe knight g3 would have been slightly more precise. White is slightly better. I think they got Budapest line. d4, knight f6, c4, e5. To take c, knight takes g4. Something like Budapest. b3, bishop b2, short castle, queen d4. Yes, rook e6 doesn't really work. c5. Yes, queen a4, not the easiest move to play. C takes d, computer doesn't like. Knight c3, black is fine. Bishop d3 or knight d3. h3, h6, queen d4, bishop f5, e4. And computer doesn't like this queen h4. Knight g6 would have been better move. And again, black is fine. Yes, Anna does have only 40 seconds. Yes, time control is 90 minutes for 40 moves, and then 30 minutes increment, and from the first move 30 seconds increment. Yes, bishop e6, rook takes e6. Black is slightly better. Black is already much better after b5. Queen g3, and just queen g3, rook g3, b5. It doesn't have any problems. f4, queen h4. And somehow yes, really hard to say. Did Lilia Danielian blunder her knight on h4, or he saw something further but didn't work, because usually she had 30 minutes and she played f4, and after queen h4 she spent another 12 minutes. Yes, and after queen f7 black doesn't have problems. This is already lost. And this is already lost. This is completely lost. Yes, many inaccuracies, mistakes, but of course the final one was this f4 and king f8. If she played f4 and saw queen h4, no doubts she saw that h4 is hanging, then why she spent another 12 minutes? And why not queen f7? Okay, anyway, let's see the standings. So Anna Khachaturian is leading, 4.5 points out of 5. Susanna Gaboyan is 4. And 3 players are having 3 points out of 5. Milena Gasparian, Mariam Avetisian, Lilia Danielian. Yes, Lilia today lost, unfortunately, very important game against Anna Khachaturian. So 3 players are having 2 points. Navar Tairapetian, Susanna Rakelian, Malina Kobak. Mariam Khachaturian has 1 point and Meline Harutyunyan only half point. Yes, let's see the pairings for tomorrow. Harapetian Danielian, Harutyunyan Khachaturian, Havetisian Gasparian, Gaboyan Kobak, Arakelian Khachaturian. So Gaboyan Kobak, if Galina Kobak really wants to fight for the top places, I think tomorrow is the right time to already fighting for the point. Yes, Anna Khachaturian is having Melina Harutyunyan. Somehow tournament doesn't go well for Meline. I don't think uh, anyone has doubts that Anna Khachaturian is the clear favorite of this game. But let's see. And we can also check the pairings for men's championship. We are having Artur Davtyan, Hovik Harapetian, Karen Grigorian against Roberto Vanisian, Tigran Harutyunyan against Sergei Sargsyan, Benik Agasorov against Zaven Andreasyan, and Mamikon Gharibian against Manuel Petrosyan. So Artur has all the chances to surprise all of us and his opponent as well, because somehow he plays very solid chess, uh, with some mistakes, of course, but at least Hovik definitely doesn't feel well because he's really getting his positions. He's getting promising positions, even winning positions, but somehow he's suffering to convert them. Karen Grigorian lost today in a very painful way, and tomorrow he will be playing Robert Hovhannisyan. I think this is very important game for Robert and for Karen. If Karen really wants to fight for top 3 places and especially for the first place, tomorrow he should really be very much focused. But this can easily be a very good chance for Robert if somehow he manages to make a draw or even maybe get his chances. And then Karen almost theoretically loses his chances. But we know how strong Karen is, and especially we remember that in World Rapid Chess Championship recently he managed to beat Mamedyarov and Vei. And out of last 4 games he scored 3.5 points, and he scored 9 points, which was amazing. Tigran Harutyunyan is having with the white pieces against Sergei Sargsyan. This is very good chance for Tigran as well, because I don't think anyone starting from this game or generally will underestimate Sargis's chances, because he's well prepared, he knows how to play, he plays well, and once again, I won't be surprised if Sargis will win tomorrow also. But I also know that Tigran is very solid, very safe with the white pieces. Usually he's well prepared and he can really pose a lot of problems. And no, I think either we are going to see Tigran really getting something, or game will end in a draw. Winning Agasorov against Zaven Andreasyan, somehow Zaven lost painful game because with the white pieces he could definitely achieve more. And Benik also lost. Yeah, it's really hard to say. It very much depends how Benik Agasarov will handle this pressure. If he collapses or he just doesn't care much what happened in previous round. And of course, Mamikon Haribian, Manuel Pedrosian. Mamikon lost last two rounds. And tomorrow with the white pieces facing Manuel Pedrosian, who managed to win against the leader of the tournament. Yes, it is going to be very interesting round. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Really hard to say. Again, if I every day my predictions, some of them are working, some of them not really. Thank you very much, dear friends. Please leave your comments. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have any suggestions, any ideas, any tournaments you would like to see, uh, just feel free and leave your comments. Thank you very much.